I'm a sculptor by practice, but I'm also a mixed media artist. And I'm going to say 2018-19. I always worked with fabric in my sculpture because I was also making soft sculpture. And when I was in college as an undergrad, I wanted to learn how to weave and sew and crochet and knit and do all this. I was very interested since I was a child in traditional craft making, and I wanted to elevate it. And also coming from a working class family, an industrial family that worked in factories and steel yards, lumber yards, trades like that. I wanted to elevate my, who I am and where I come from. And the fabrics that I often use are some of my dad's old shirts. My father, he was a sculptor, he's retired now, but he was a sculptor and he was probably my greatest influence. And Dad wore a lot of denim. He lived in denim. And so, for example, the piece over here, it's called Blue Gradient, and I did that just a few years ago, but all of those are snippets of a couple of my father's shirts. Oh, cool. Also, I wanted to make commentary about, a lot of people don't think about this. When we think of denim, we think of the color of indigo. That comes from Africa. So when we think of denim, we don't think about ourselves, originating this type of, not originating, but actually develop this type of material in these colors, and I wanted to celebrate that as well. And the gold and the other colors you see there, it's just, and I mix my own colors. I like to use acrylic, and I'll brush it over the top of an existing color to sort of enhance or change the color. And I'm interested in abstraction. I guess my father was an abstract, he is an abstract, his sculpture is very abstract. And so I grew up admiring the work of artist Sam Gilliam, who's an abstract, beautiful. The way he draped fabric, it was off the wall, it was different, it was unique. I was really intrigued by that. Joe Overstreet, we have a show of his in Houston right now, fabric paintings, different shapes. And I didn't think about those things, those were in my mind, and they're not direct inspirations, but I think I'm drawing from all of those things in my work. And what I was really excited about yesterday working with the kids at the school is that so these are called laborscapes. Anything I do that's linear using fabric and paint, and sometimes I'll have more texture involved, and sometimes I might have fabric that's more sculptural that comes away from the wall. I also enjoy working with burlap. Burlap for me connects me to cotton. That is like, I have this love-hate obsessive relationship with raw cotton, knowing where it comes from. My familial background, my mother comes from rural North Carolina, and basically my mother's side, they picked cotton. So and she was born very practically next to a cotton field. So that's in my background, and I love cotton fabric. And I'm just making connections to, I guess, my background as a woman of color, as a descendant of displaced people in America. But I do it in an abstract way. What was cool about the children was that they kind of saw what I see in it without me having to explain it to them. They saw this was a landscape. They thought about ocean, water, and some kids kind of saw that was a little like a lighthouse or some kind of element like that. Some kids, yes, tell them what this is. Sure did.
Sure did.
A woman's legs diving in the water with red shoes on. And I loved it.
Yeah.
But and my idea, it's not an uncommon idea. There's about stretching fabric over frames, basically as a painter stretches canvas over frame. But all of these are made so I start my work, I cut my fabric in strips and build on the strips. It's almost like I'm painting with the fabric.